This is a second method to graph piecewise functions. I'm going to do the same problem as the last video, but I'm going to use the plug and chug method. So we still have two pieces to this function. The first piece is an absolute value function, and the second piece is a linear function. I want to first see where is the domain restricted on this one. Where do the two pieces split up? And we can see that that's going to be at -1. So I'll put a line at -1 just to remind myself that that's where I should split these two graphs in half. So let's start with the absolute value function. I'm literally going to start plugging chugging. I start at the boundary number -1, I plug that in for x, and it comes out 3. Then I want to pick a few more x values less than -1 and plug those in as well. So I chose -2, -3, -4. Then I'm literally plugging those in for x and seeing what I get for y. Remember that it's always better to have more points than less points if you're not sure that you have the shape correct. The last thing I need to check is at the boundary -1 whether it's going to be an open or a closed circle. And since it's or equal to here, we see we're going to have a closed circle at -1, 3. Now I'll move on to the linear function. Again, I start with the boundary number -1 and plug that in for x, and we can see the output's 3. Now I want to pick x values for this part of the function that are bigger than -1, so I'll plug in 0 and the output's -2. Just to be sure, I'll plug in one more, which is 1, and if I plug that in, it comes out -7. Now this is a linear function, so I really only need 2 points, but better safe than sorry again. Once again, I need to check at the boundary, and this time it should be an open circle because it's strictly greater than -1, not equal to. But what happens here is that -1, 3 was already a closed circle, so the closed circle fills in the open circle and you don't really see it. I want to plot the rest of the points, and this time it's to the right of -1, so I make the graph to the right of the yellow line. And the last thing I want to do is take out that yellow line because it's not technically part of the graph. I was just using it to help me split it up. And this is what your final graph looks like, the same as it looked on the last problem.